haunting and uneasy images layered on one another, a study on a troubled mind and body, squeezed and twisted. I was engrossed by the manipulation and the distortion until our subject is almost no longer recognizable. For me, it felt very Lynchian, especially the final season of Twin Peaks, where there is those graphics that feel raw, that feel almost unfinished, or just something feels not right, but it all works collectively to really move the viewer in to uncomfortability and trying to make sense of it with our brain. Um, yeah, I thought that the distortion and the rawness added to those layers of disassociation with the piece as well.
You can see the obscurities of the psyche come into play here between the smoke and the ink transitional-like sequences. We shift between the sense of reality and insanity almost, as we notice our lead's hair is astray, she's in a straitjacket, and time's morphed into the sense of disbelief. You gather her sense of movement as an act of stillness. Her going to hold her own hand at times is creepy. The composition adds on to the eeriness. I see this space as a sense of void, black and white, the focus being this woman of 1,000 faces entering this black hole and becoming one with the surface, it seems. This really extreme close-up to developing into this extreme wide shot of her in this mental institution in the middle of a black hole in space.
We have this kind of mix between a live action and animation. These shapes that keep going, in the space, like they floating. Let's say it's not really a space, but let's say like it's a kind of a mix between the sky and this smoke effect around. I think it was really powerful, and it was symbolizing how the maybe human souls, our souls are light, and they just float in the sky. From my point of view, it was about the film was about our souls, and probably about when a person dies, the soul floating around in the atmosphere. I think this was, in my opinion, from my point of view, the main goal, the main idea behind the film, and I think it was very powerful and very well executed.
The eye contact that this person makes throughout the entire piece lures you in, while you have these different images playing in the background, and you watch this person morph until they're something that you didn't see in the beginning, and watching someone's mind, their psyche, obscure over time. Very proud of myself for that one. But I think you do a great job of presenting all these images and putting them quick and making them raw, and you're like, what is real, what is not, what are they seeing versus what am I seeing? Like, where does that line go in between? I think this was really captivating to watch. I think there's a lot of really interesting images and imagery that you put in this piece, and you pack it all in. And you make it just really captivating and kind of eerie, and there's a lot of open space to ask questions and interpret things in different ways. But yeah, overall it comes together to be a really thought-provoking and interesting piece.
The eye contact of the character is mesmerizing, and the emotion just comes through. I don't want to assume what this character has been through, whether it's their own doing or have they been held and been a victim. We're not sure, but held captive in restraints, or is it in the mind? The scenes of space remind you of the thoughts of what's outside the darkness. Is there hope for this character or whoever they have in mind? I really like the effect of the modern dance poses and those stills and how they're superimposed and rotating, just very experimental with the photography. It was ghostly.
This has great music and animation. This feels at sometimes as something taken from the deepest and darkest nightmares. I love the makeup and special effects. These effects, particularly of the body distortion, it feels painful. It is such a great effect that you can almost feel or see a real body doing those movements. And then we have this glance at nothingness. It is just very abstract, very cryptic and mysterious.